The camp of the Super Eagles keep bubbling as all 23 players have arrived to the camp. And this is the first international break for 2025-2026 season as the race to qualify for the World Cup 2026 that is taking place in Mexico, USA, and Canada continues for the Super Eagles and Nigeria as a whole. As the Super Eagles of Nigeria welcome Rwanda for what seems to be a decider for this World Cup qualifier for the Super Eagles and over 200 million Nigerians. Welcome, guys. This is Football Final Whistle. This is the FIFA international break. Will Nigeria be represented in World Cup 2026? This is a very hard question to answer in these qualifiers. Nigeria are seated in Group C, where South Africa sits first in the top of the group with 13 points. Rwanda surprisingly sits second with 8 points. Benin Republic sits third, and unfortunately for the Super Eagles, they sit fourth with 7 points after 6 games. Surprisingly, Lesotho sits fifth, and Zimbabwe sits last, bottom of the table respectively. And this weekend, we'll see the Super Eagles in their bid to qualify for the World Cup UB. Already, we are permutating, we're calculating. Over 200 million Nigerians are wishing for Rwanda, for Benin, and South Africa to draw points while we amass all our 6 points in this international window. We have 2 games in this international window against Rwanda that comes up on the 6th and against South Africa that comes up on the 9th. We'll be focusing on this next fixture, which is Nigeria up against Rwanda, the Amavubis of Rwanda, UB. Players invited for this squad are the traditional players we all know. The Victor Osimhens, the Ademola Lookmans, the Moses Simons, the Mwabalis are all represented, and a newcomer to this team, his first international call-up. We'll see the Getafe man, Crisantos Uche, representing Nigeria for this international break. And we'll also see Seria Dexas returns to the Super Eagles after a very, very long time out. UB, Nigeria, Rwanda. After 6 games, Nigeria has 7 points. This seems to be a very tight corner for Nigerians and for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. What should we expect for this match? This match will be taking place in Uyo in Nigeria. The first leg, Nigeria beats Rwanda 2-0. All fingers are crossed, UB, for us to get all 3 points for this game. As a Nigerian, as a patriotic Nigerian, what do you expect?
I'm glad you had to add as a patriotic Nigerian.
Yes.
Same old. Every year, every World Cup, every qualifiers, every time it's the same thing. Permutation and combination. If this one no lose, if this one win, if we just draw that game, and we go qualifiers. If we just every time it's the same story. Some of us are tired. And our squad is nothing to be compared to all those squads.
Exactly.
The names on our team sheets are not to be compared to all those. So what is the issue? Every time we have to permute. So when they drop the group and we saw people in our group, of course we thought automatically, come on now, we'll beat these people now. There's no how we'll not qualify. There's no how. But it didn't happen. We are back here again. Permutation. The only excitement about this is the new player you talked about, the Crisantos Uche. Just decided to see what he will add to the team and all that. Because if it's about winning, because now we are at that place where we are permutating and combining. If we beat Rwanda, if hopefully we win, even if we beat Rwanda, we are still pushing that South Africa would, drop those points that we are hoping that the FIFA would remove from them and add to Lesotho. That is if that happens, though, because they're already on 13 points.
It will.
But even if that happens, we still have to win our game.
Exactly.
Now, even when that happens, we still need Lesotho to also lose. To not. Is that not too much?
Combinations are too much.
This time is crazy. It's not even okay. They have to lose how we win. This one there are 3 combinations and permutations. This has to happen, and for this to happen, and for that to happen. It's not too much. Why not just win these games that we're supposed to win, and so we don't have to be cracking our brains and expecting and praying. Now it's a must win, a draw. So this whole thing will die down if we get a draw.
Yeah.
A draw and the whole hope is gone.
Yeah.
We need a win, and Rwanda, they are not in pressure of anything. They are not pressure. We are carrying the whole pressure. We are the ones with the whole pressure. They are not pressure. They don't have any. They don't what big player do you have in their team really? But do you know who we have? The
We have
Osimhen's, the
back-to-back
Iwobis.
African
Are
champions.
you kidding?
2 of them in our team, yet after 6 games, 7 points. That's we're averaging 1 point per game.
It's a shame. It's really a shame. But then, like you said, patriotic. Let's just be hopeful. There's something to get something out of it. Let's be hopeful. We are first hopeful, like I said. First hopeful that we win Rwanda. It's our home.
Yeah.
We hope we win Rwanda. And we're hopeful that FIFA reduce points of South Africa. We are also hopeful that Lesotho don't win their game. Oh yes.
Too much of variables to be hopeful about. Just like you mentioned, Nigeria will be playing at home right there in New York, Godswill Akpabio International Stadium. Will this home factor, because I trust the Yo fans, these guys come out in mass to support the Super Eagles whenever they are playing there. Will the home factor, the 12th man, which are the fans, propel Nigeria for this maximum 3 points?
It has always happened. And about that one, I trust Nigerians. We are always going to come out and support. Kudos to everybody that goes to those games in New York. Kudos to them. So we have always given them support. We've always had support. It's just that the support do not reflect, the performances don't reflect the support. That is the issue we've always had.
Yeah.
So that's why there's no how you go to a Nigerian game that you not be hearing it's a miracle. You must hear it.
Fact.
You must hear it. The
Yes.
fans be shouting, and every team touches the ball, everybody is screaming. You must hear it. But then we want the performances to reflect this support because they don't, and it's frustrating sometimes. But we have to be hopeful. We actually don't have a choice right now because our last World Cup we're not there. We don't qualify.
Yeah. And it will be a shame for back-to-back World Cups. We're
Two
not going there.
World Cups in a row and we don't qualify.
It will really be a shame, Yubi.
And we are here producing
African best
player after African best player. Imagine when that happens and you are thinking that you will be able to convince players to come and play, to come and
represent the country.
How, please? It's a shame. But then we are hopeful.
We are hopeful. Just like you said, what will it mean to these players, Yubi? An African best player, and this set of, or this crop of players we have in the national team as Nigerians, they won't get to represent Nigeria, or they won't get to play in the World Cup. You've won leagues, you've won personal laurels, and you cannot play in the World Cup. I remember George Weah, he said one of his highest regret as a player was not playing in the FIFA World Cup. He won the Ballon d'Or. Imagine a Ballon d'Or winner didn't play in the World Cup, UB. And these players, wonderful crop of players, in individual talent, we have these players. The Victor Osimhens, the Ademola Lookmans, these guys not going to the World Cup. And the next World Cup win 2030, how many of them will still be playing in 2030 to go to the World Cup? This is all they need to play for in playing in the FIFA World Cup. Do you think with this in their minds, will it propel them over the line to qualifying for the World Cup?
We hope. That's all we can say. We hope it propels them. I mean, with the new coach, that's also a positive. We've seen signs of, yes, he's actually building something nice.
Many people will disagree with you, UB.
Many people disagree with me, but I think everybody will agree that it's better than the one we had before.
The one we had before brought us into this mess we are in now.
So better than the one we had before. Well, everybody will agree to that fact. It may not be everything we hope for, better than the one we had before. We are seeing, I mean, he did not bring Victor Boniface because, I'm sorry to say, I don't want to spark any controversy, but personally, doesn't really add a lot to the team. I'm not trying to, but then, so we are seeing that he's picking people that he thinks, personally, I won't even too crazy. He plays every time he plays. It's not really what he does is we see him one or two sparks for club side, but for Nigeria, we don't see it. People that are putting all those things for us is Osimhen. We know if Osimhen comes, we are expecting something. I
think that's one of the problems this group of players have when they play for the national team. You see these guys putting up one of the match performance week in, week out in their respective clubs. But when they put on this jersey, it seems you are seeing total different kind of player entirely.
Exactly.
Apart from Osimhen and probably Ndidi and the captain,
Two-second.
Chustekong, and maybe the keeper too.
Yes,
who,
Nwabali.
Yes, Nwabali, who puts up this performance. Apart from these players we've just mentioned now, the rest just seems to be a shadow of themselves when they put on this green, white, green jersey.
Iwobi is arguably the best player in Fulham since the season started.
Yes.
Arguably,
Yes.
the best player in Fulham.
Yes.
But when you play for Nigeria, you would never say Iwobi is the best player playing. It's hard to say that. I'm not saying this to say that they are not contributing, but it just seems that it's just very different. Their performances for their country and for the club.
Measuring up.
Maybe it's not their fault. It's not their fault. But we need to start seeing these things. We need to start seeing the performances for the club also reflect for the national team too.
Yeah.
It's important because that's what is getting us in this predicament we are in, because this is actually a predicament.
Yeah.
We're having to drag space with countries like
Rwanda,
Lesotho, Rwanda.
Imagine,
Are you kidding me?
imagine in a group that has Benin Republic and Nigeria. Benin Republic is above Nigeria in the table. Doesn't even make any sense.
It's crazy.
Well, Yubi, I just want to take your thoughts now. Nigeria against Rwanda. So much expectations from this particular match. Hopefully maximum 3 points. What do you think the scoreline will be? What's your scoreline? What's your predictions for this game?
I'll give you a patriotic answer and then I'll give you a reality.
Okay.
Patriotic answer. Another 2-0. We win and go. But actually, let me leave the reality. Let's leave it as patriotic answer. 2-0 in favor of Nigeria. Yes.
UB says 2-0 in favor of Nigeria. Looking at the players we've called up for the national team and looking at what's at stake in qualifying for the World Cup, UB, Nigeria will win. I'm giving Nigeria a 3-0 win because going to this World Cup should matter to these players. Wearing this jersey at the World Cup should matter to these players. And with the quality of players we have in this Nigeria team setup should matter to these players. These all should come in play and give us a 3-0 win. Who would you want to see start? Just 5 players you want to see in this starting lineup against Rwanda. Just 5 players.
That has to be the easiest question you've asked me on this show. Easiest question.
Yeah.
Nwabali, very important.
Yes.
With Osimhen,
true.
Very, very important.
Yeah.
Ndidi,
yeah.
Very, very, very important.
3.
How many is that?
3.
The Chrysanthus, very, 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 very. That's 4 now.
That's 4.
Important. Then finally, very, 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 very. That's 5.
Yes.
But I'll add one more. Very important. Demola Lookman. That's very easy. Easy 5. You would have pushed a little bit.
You've just mentioned attackers, and no defender.
No, I mentioned a keeper. Come on, I tried.
No defender.
Because we need goals.
Okay.
That is why. Remind me what the best form of defense is.
Attack. The first form of defense is attack according to UB. So guys, Nigeria against Rwanda this weekend on Saturday, to be precise, the 6th day of September 2025. Nigeria will be taking on Rwanda at the Nest of Champions, the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium in Uyo. Will Nigeria get all the 3 points? Who would you want to see in the lineup? Of course, Nwabali will be there. Of course, William Chustekong will be there. Of course, our number 1 striker will be there. And of course, the best African player of the year, of course, will be there, Ademola Lookman. Who else will you want to see in this starting lineup against Rwanda? Hopefully, we get all 3 points against Rwanda and keep our fingers crossed for our next game against South Africa. So guys, you can also drop your prediction, correct score, or who you think will win. Both as a patriotic Nigerian, as a football fan, who would you want to see? So guys, don't forget to subscribe in all our social media platforms. It's Football Final Whistle. Subscribe, like, share for more football fans and analysis.